Hello. When I was asked to talk on Vote Faithfully Sunday, one of the first things that came to my mind was a presentation I heard recently by Jason Reynolds. Jason Reynolds is the Library of Congress's youth ambassador, and he's a Black author who co wrote Stamped. He authored Long Way Down, and among other books. But Long Way Down was the community read for Glenbard High School, District 87. And it was District 87's Glenbard Parent Series that sponsored this presentation. One of the main takeaways I had hearing Jason Reynolds speak that evening was he said, fighting racism is about love. If you love others, you want for them what you want for yourself. And that's what we're called to do. Our baptismal covenant calls us to love one another. And that's because Jesus called us to love one another. And you ask, how does that connect to voting? Voting is our power in a democracy, but yet for way too long in our country's history, people were excluded from voting. Women didn't get the right to vote until 1920, and yet it wasn't for all women. Women of color still could not vote, and in many places, because of Jim Crow laws, men and women of color were denied the right to vote, at least until the Voting Rights Act in 1965. And yet here we are in 2020, and we still see voter suppression at work, especially in communities of color and against marginalized groups. There are many in our country, even in our church, who don't have the right to vote. Voting is confined to adult citizenship. So to have the power to vote is a privilege and a responsibility, one that should not be taken lightly. Too many people fought for this right. We owe it to them, to ourselves, and to our communities to vote. And by voting our values, that is how we can help the poor, the mistreated, the marginalized, the stranger, the voiceless, access what we all should have: food, shelter, health care, education, safety, equality, respect, and love. What we want for ourselves. That is how we love one another. Please vote. Please vote your values. Thank you.